of actually the assistant superintendent of elementary curriculum and federal programs at Jackson Public Schools, Julie Baker. Hi, Julie.
Hi there.
Welcome back. Nice to see you.
It's always nice to be here.
And happy Kindergarten Roundup Week.
Yes, we're kicking it off tonight. So Dibble is our first one. So we're really excited about it. We'll have 3 this week, and then 4 of our schools next week. So it's always a great time of the year.
Well, you were an elementary principal for a while. Do you miss being in a school with the little ones?
I do. Yeah, it's I still get an opportunity to go in and see the kids frequently, but it's different not having them every day. So
let's talk about kindergarten roundups. We've had all the principals from JPS Elementary on in the last couple of weeks, but each school, they've got their bragging points and reasons to go.
Yeah.
But what can you expect, regardless of which one you go to? What is the standard program for kindergarten roundup?
We made a change a few years ago where we decided that this would be almost like a resource fair for parents. Mm-hmm. And so not only are you going to be able to meet the principal and the kindergarten teachers and other staff members, you're going to be able to see the school, but you're also going to see community partners that are going to be able to work with parents to make that transition. So they can go in and they can get their hearing and vision screening done. They can find out about their what vaccinations are still needed. They can find out what kinds of services are available through a community action agency, the ISD, the library, YMCA. So lots of community partners there that can work with parents to help them get ready for kindergarten, that first day.
For first-time families,
yes,
it's got to be a little daunting.
Yeah.
The decision about kindergarten, mm-hmm. What is the program that's right for my kid? There's choices, there's mm-hmm. young fives, there's kindergarten. How do you know? What's the difference?
Well, we do a screening for every student that enrolls, and we'll have a recommendation for parents based on how students do. So for our Young Fives program, we're really looking at 3 different things. We're looking at birth date, but that's not the most important piece. We're also looking at how they do on that screener. Are they able to hold a pencil? Are they able to recognize shapes, their name, things like that, really important first pieces. And then also, socially, are they ready? Or can they sit in a seat for a long period of time, or even, for a little while, or are they still in play mode and maybe need some time to kind of pick up some of those social skills that are needed for school to be school ready. And if we find that any of those 3 boxes get checked, we'll have a conversation with parents and say, let's consider giving your child that gift of time. Let's start out with Young Fives and let's build on those academics or the social skills and just give them time to really shine by the time they get to kindergarten. And then students that are, look like they're just ready to move into kindergarten, those students, we make that recommendation to the parents as well. So.
It wouldn't surprise me if there are kids that might not be potty trained.
Yeah. Those are part of the things that, we will make sure that we have a conversation with parents about and give them some suggestions because they have to be potty trained to come to kindergarten. So it's really important.
Is there ever a situation where your testing shows that a child might be too advanced for kindergarten and you just pass them right into first grade?
Doesn't happen very often, but even if they are more advanced than the average kindergartner, we can definitely accommodate that student. So with just making sure that we're being really intentional in our differentiation for them.
It sounds like a lot, there's some responsibility on the family, the parents. If a child doesn't have the social skills or hasn't been read to or mm-hmm. hasn't done any kind of work at home, well, maybe the parents, they've got time to do it now.
Yeah, it's a great time for them to build that partnership, to begin that partnership with the school. And the school can let them know these are the things that your child really needs to be able to do before they come. And they have time. They've got the summer to work on it. So.
Okay, before the show, we talked a little bit about food because That's everyone's favorite subject here at JTV. So there's going to be food at the kindergarten roundup.
Well, it's interesting what we do. Of course, there's snacks and everything, but we also have what's called a skill builder tray that we send home with every student. Anybody who works with kindergartners know that it's very challenging the first 2 or 3 weeks in the cafeteria because they can't open anything. They don't know how to open cartons. They don't know how to open, ketchup packets and things like that. So we send some snacks home, but also some of those things. How do you open string cheese? So parents can see the kinds of things that they need to practice with them on so that they can be independent in the cafeteria.
I was at the library grand opening in Hanover on Saturday, and there were adults that were having difficulty with the Capri Sun packaging.
Yes, you have to be careful or you get sprayed with it pretty easily. So.
What about school buses? Will you have a school bus there that people?
Yes, we'll have a school bus there. They can step onto it. Sometimes if we have enough bus drivers, they'll take them around the block so they can get that first experience, or it's just a photo opportunity. We'll have our parent liaisons in the building so that they can learn about the PTO, parents can. They get a beautiful t-shirt that either has their graduation date, if they go into the kindergarten program or if they go into the Young Fives program, so class of whatever. I haven't figured out what it is
We
this
have
year
not
yet.
been able to figure it out. We've been working on it for 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, I think it's 2039, maybe.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, and so chances to get pictures taken, lots of freebies, and so it's a really fun time. And we've got drawings; they can get signed up to win a bike and a helmet. So.
Oh, cool! And
Yeah.
People, they can bring in the whole family, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have families that they're not sure about which school they want to go to, and so we'll see them in a couple of different roundups, over the course of the 2 weeks.
Now, years ago, you didn't get a choice about what school you went to. It was the one that was closest. There were maps, there were lines, and you had to go to a specific school. It's not that way anymore.
There's a lot of overlap. There are still some schools that we might have to say no to a parent if they want something that's way across town, but there's a lot of overlap. So we find that we're able to say yes to several schools, usually, for parents. So.
And people choose the school because School A might offer a program or a language that School B does not.
Or they may be looking at the size of the school. Sometimes it is location, like they have childcare in a certain place that they want it, or they've got other family members in a building, so they want to kind of keep everybody together. So there's lots of reasons that they choose what they want. We've got 2 schools that are really important in our district for our families of English language learners, Sharp Park and Northeast. And we have really strong systems of support set up in both of those buildings. And so I would really recommend any parents of students that are English language learners to really seek out those 2 programs.
Yeah, it's amazing. There are a lot of families in Jackson where the language spoken in the home is either Japanese,
Yes.
Arabic, French.
Yes.
It runs the gamut.
We have a lot of different languages in our district. So.
Hunt Elementary is changing
Yes.
for next year.
Yes, Hunt Elementary has been on a balanced calendar in the past. It will be moving to the same calendar as the rest of the district this year. So we're building some consistency there in the programming.
And that was very popular. And I know that there were staff that they loved that schedule.
Right.
Was it just the time ran its course on that?
I think so. I think it's also, trying to, as I said, it makes it a lot easier when we've got consistent schedules. We saw some good things with balanced calendar, but ultimately not real differences in the way that students were performing or anything like that, or differences in attendance even. So we want to get them on the same calendar as the rest of us. So.
Yeah,
That's the
I
plan.
know a lot of families that said, hey, our spring break is...
At different times or for longer. So, yeah.
If someone, for whatever reason, can't make the kindergarten roundup and their child is ready for Young Fives or kindergarten in September, what can they do? Is there an alternative way to sign up?
Absolutely. All they need to do is reach out to the school that they're interested in. And they will set up a time for them to come in and do the paperwork. They'd be really easy. I believe they can find that information on our online at jpsk12.org.
And there are things that people need in order to enroll. Do they need documentation of any sort?
They want to have shot records. They need to have proof of their address, 2 different things that have their address on them. So proof of residence, driver's license, those types of things would be really helpful. And birth certificate, that's the most important thing.
Oh, yes. And now would be a good time if your child isn't up to date on the vaccinations, do it now, especially the measles.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think it's a series. There's a group all happening at the same time, and that needs to happen.
Right. We need to make sure that we've got all of those in order. They get a little bit of time, but before we get halfway through the school year, they need to make sure they've had them.
Great. Well, have a successful week
Thank you.
plus of kindergarten roundups.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. Julie Baker is the Assistant Superintendent for Elementary Curriculum and Federal Programs at Jackson Public Schools.